like prep for the boat and the underground. Although I have other stuff set up, I don't think it's appropriate. The more I'm remembering.
In fact, it's inappropriate.
It is very inappropriate. In fact,
literally, we are going to a brothel.
Yeah.
Before John leaves, let me just roll one thing. Oh, he's left. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry, I'm already gone.
No surprise.
Just a reminder, we do have a digital memory of this campaign stored on
It's almost
Luke's
like we can watch videos
channel.
or something.
Yeah.
I need to do that. Luke, why do I not have you in my subscriptions?
If you wouldn't mind commenting, and subscribing, that would be mucho gracias.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm trying
What's
to
the site that we even do? I don't even remember the name of the site that we played D&D on now.
Roll20.
That was it.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember to enter my character sheet, and I could not even remember now.
Luke, send me a link to your
Alright,
YouTube.
give me a fucking moment. Jesus Christ, you needy bitch.
You
can watch him.
bitch.
You can watch him play amazing games, such as Jekyll and Hyde.
I'll like and subscribe to everything.
Luke, you will get me to I will intimately watch an entire series if you were to do the bad game. Well, the
You've got to be more specific. I play a lot of bad games.
The
Like
tormenting
Jekyll and
game.
Hyde.
God damn it. The one about a town undergoing a plague.
I know the one you mean, and no. Because I sat down and I watched H-Bomber Guy's recommendation as to why I forgot the name of it. Pathologic is an amazing game you should never play, but you should play the Redux. I was like, even then I don't necessarily feel like that. The problem with those kind of games is they're so freeform, they're a nightmare to commentate.
Okay, I can see that.
Because
maybe Redux would be easier to commentate.
Possibly. I mean, at the moment I've just finished playing a cyberpunk point-and-click adventure game called Neofeud.
Okay.
And it's super interesting because it's a solo project by this guy called Christian Miller. He's really politically active, very opinionated. Mm-hmm. It's just a bit unfortunate that his game ended with enforced totalitarianism is okay provided it's done by good people.
Okay.
And I'm like,
that's almost
okay. Key example. So, person overthrows their dad and basically becomes the oligarch of this massive just conglomerate where she can basically act as a de facto ruler and goes, cool, everyone who's over a certain amount of wealth has to spend 1 year in abject poverty. For every 2 years they have their money. No assets, no connections, and if they die, she gets to seize all their assets. And this is perceived as a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that seems dramatically violatory of everyone's rights and also really exploitative.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of it came across as, I get that this makes you feel happy in a kind of haha take that kind of way, but this does not survive contact with open air. This is some Mao Zedong bullshit. This is some, oh no, but I'm in the right, so this is fine. No.
And I thought the VN I played where the good ending was mutually assured destruction as a concept was stupid.
So I'm also reminded. So there is a really cool indie game that we had played for the Drunken Ugly. That here it is. Yeah, we did. We did. actually post that. Cool. You should play. You should try it out sometime, Luke. It's called All of Our Friends Are Dead.
I think I actually have that on my list.
It's really good if you want.
I think I've got the Greatest Itch bookmarked.
Let's see. Part one. Let's see. Part one.
I mean, I've also got A Fork in the Tail, an FMV game
Here.
starring Rob Schneider.
We had done a play of this. I believe. I encourage giving it a play though. If you feel like taking a look at this, by all means. But I encourage giving it a play. It's very, very fun. It's a weird little indie almost horror game. It's just a 2D side scroller.
Yeah, that's it. No, I follow
pixel art game.
I follow the guy on YouTube.
Oh, Amon
Yes,
26.
Amontillado. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Has he done more games?
Not more games, but he does like post videos of like restoring Game Boys and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
He's weird, but in a good way.
Yeah, I would personally like to reach out to him and be like, "Hey, you made good games. I encourage you to make more."
I give you head pats.
Because All Our Friends Are Dead and Assemblée are two very good games that I would absolutely love to see. I would love to see him do more stuff like that.
All right, I think I'm ready for interstitial if you guys are.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right. So to catch Ed up on what happened last week real quick. So here's what you missed. It was the downtime session. Fu confronted Tsukasa about him being a little brat and not staying for the party on Burke. And then basically Tsukasa, I'm gonna ignore all the cuts we had, and so Tsukasa kind of confessed, like, oh, I have to do this, otherwise people I care about will have their worlds destroyed, and if I stay in one place too long, I feel like I'm not making any progress. And so they have feels, and then Tsukasa had a vision where he stabbed Fu, and he was okay with it, and Cypher was there too. Meanwhile, Judge Dredd went to the next world, which was unanimously voted for. So sorry that you don't get a choice in this one, Ed.
It's cool.
But he went to this next world, which is their newest world, which is the city of Paris, the present day. And he walked around there, scouted it out. It seemed very nice. He went to that bridge with the padlocks that's supposed to be a romantic thing, and he was going to do it while thinking of Anderson, but then he's like, and tosses it off the bridge. It's a lot more feelsy in the moment. Listen to the recording. And then he goes to a wine bar to get drunk. But when there, he's approached by a girl who's like, hey, you look like a police officer. I'm looking for my friend who is lost. He has we found him a few days ago, and he seems lost. We've been trying to help him out, but he just ran off. And so Dredd goes and looks for him. There are screams. He follows them to an alley where we see Vivi getting attacked by nobodies. Judge Dredd saves the day with a superhero who looks just like the girl he saved, except wearing polka dot spandex and going by Ladybug. And Vivi is escorted back to the SEA, where there's a happy reunion between her and Fu. and nobody really knows what's going on. But that's the end of that story. And then Bob was in the library doing some research, trying to figure out about these other worlds. He met the librarian Joseph, who started telling Bob about his home world and the story. And he started telling the tale, but it ended up kind of getting cut off. It's like, no, it's been long enough. Maybe we continue this next time. And I believe that's everything that happened last session.
Sounds about right.
Alrighty.
But in return, since you weren't here for a downtime session to make new friends, Ed, you can choose any of the links, be it from the SEA or Zootopia. Like one character will just say you hung out with them last session and you were off screen for it, and you can make a link with them. Well, you're gonna have to roll for it still, because your link move might go off, but if you scroll up in the interstitial channel, I do have the document with all the SEA people if you don't remember them.
Let's see.
It's also pinned in the interstitial chat now.
That would be useful.
Yeah.
Oh, and our chats and the video is still Dragon Heist. That's gonna be awkward.
Oh, I'll figure it out.
All right.
I don't know how YouTube works, but I figure Luke can
change
go back
yeah.
and change the title later if he needs to.
I think Navi probably ended up trying to help Fina
Fixed it.
Stellars out while she was working as her known profession
Fina
as a
Sellers?
medic.
Oh, that okay. The blue rogues are not accessible right now. So everyone else.
They're not. Never mind then.
They are currently scouting out and doing hard work undercover on a specific world.
So the other members are available?
Yes, everyone else is, and
Okay.
all the characters from Zootopia are, minus Carmelita Fox, who she went off on her own now. So.
Okay. Probably going to just continue to work on improving my relationship with Officer Wilde.
All right, with Nick Wilde.
No, not Officer Wilde. Clawhauser. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Perfect. All right. So go ahead and roll to make a link. What type of link are you making?
I'm going to keep it as a light link. I just want to lock it.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
And now I'm trying to find the PDF. For the move sets, basic moves, creating a link.
All right, so is light your lowest stat? So then you'd get a free experience if it's your lowest.
Yeah, that's going to be 2d6. That's a 9, minus 1 is an 8.
Okay, so here's the weird thing. The way they make you lock it is if you're changing it.
Unfortunately, I have to get yeah, so it stays the same. Or
I want to kind of house rule it just because, like, you're not changing the link. You're keeping the link the same and just trying to solidify it. So I'm going to let you have that lock. But your link move doesn't go off, of course.
Good.
To be fair, it wouldn't go off because I don't think anybody else has Clawhauser.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Okay.
Would that technically?
All right, so with that, I think we're all caught up and ready for the next world.
Just got a quick question here about the links right now here.
Yeah.
Can do the moves combine usually or not really? If some of them can be triggered off each other, kind of.
Yeah, some of the link moves are passive. It's like what's your link move?
No, I was thinking right now is one of the moves I saw was the signature technique. So could I technically use that to say for a lock a link and basically use my D-link move and my link move to basically always succeed and just always lock make all my links locked basically then?
What is your signature move? Which one is that?
I was just looking at moves. I was just saying, wait, they don't have anything. They don't have anything preventing that. That's in the Prodigy. It says blue eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Have a signature technique for decision. Choose a basic move. And when you spend a lock link, immediately act as if you rolled a +10.
Yeah, no, that is entirely legitimate.
I'm not going to. That's a bit stupid. I don't think Bob's signature move would be lock moving. So I just saw that. I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
From pure crunch, wouldn't that just basically means infinite lock links?
That's how that's how the displaced in the other game retired so early. Because not that, but he spent locked links and he was the displaced, so he created locked links, spent them all to gain experience, and then refreshed them by doing that. But he also had D-Link.
I have D-Link too, that's what I'm saying. So basically,
Yeah.
I have D-Link, displace his link move, and if I were to grab this, it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bit too silly though.
Hey, you can cheese it super hard. It's great.
I just want to check if saying wait is that technically feasible.
This game is balanced. But yeah, so any other questions before we get started into the next world?
None from me. Just to be sure, Vivi said that he had no idea what happened to the others, right?
Yeah, the big thing is he remembered. Here's what he remembers. He remembers being in a cell with the four of you guys in like a castle. That's the last thing he remembers. Like an old stone cell, not like a modern day cell. Like
In a cell in a castle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
old and stone and not modern. So it's
Or
not like a jail
possibly,
cell.
I mean, castle, maybe the catacombs.
Also possible.
Fu also asks if Phoebe wants to continue wants to travel with them to other worlds and cool stuff like that.
Not until he knows everyone is safe. He's still shaken, and he wants to stay at the SEA until he can clear his head and mind, and he knows everyone else is safe.
Yeah, she basically assured him that that is why she's traveling all these worlds, is trying to find the others.
Okay.
So,
Hopefully
all right.
you will. All right, so everyone here boards the Dreadnought Decatur, and you fly off into the space. Wait, no. Yeah, I forgot to do the actual opening meeting, didn't I? Okay, then. So you are all called into Lady Zanaic's office. Once again, she's there, looking out the window. There's big old screens, and says, "All right. So for your next mission, we have strong signals coming of these gems coming from this particular world. Our scouts, and does give a small nod to Judge Dredd, have looked at it already. We know a few things. It seems to be around what people on Earth would call the 20 teens, as far as years goes, and it's the city of Paris. Um, and it seems to be a fairly normal world with one major exception. And she hits a button, flips to the next slide. There seem to be superheroes, and we see shots of these people in, wearing tights, fighting other villains. Well,
Excellent disguise.
She says, looking over at Navi.
Joe just folds his arms.
I wasn't really trying.
She shakes her head and then motions to each of them, as if to imply that's how we could fit into this world.
Mm-hmm.
But by Navi making them look like superheroes.
too bad you don't have a superhero on your team.
Yeah, it's real too bad about that, huh?
I'll try my hardest. And I'm gonna roll disguise.
You don't have to do it yet. You don't have to do it now.
Do it once you get to the world.
God damn it, Fu.
But we don't have any, and we don't know where the gym is yet. But we are getting some. We know that one of these centers of power, where these powered people seem to gather, is the local college. And flips to a thing, that shows a small school-like building. That could be a good place to start once you get there. Beyond that, it's up to your discretion to figure out where the gem is and get it before anyone else does. Do you have any questions?
Question.
Yes.
Since we found Fu's associate Vivi there, should we assume that we may be looking at other cross interworld hostages, or maybe evidence of some kind of abduction ring?
It's entirely possible. We won't know. This things can be a fluke, and we don't know what Fu was doing in the house at Twilight Town when we found her.
No, this is fair.
We don't. There could be someone else there, or there could not be. But I hope that you do find the rest of your friends, Fu. With any luck, one of them will be another one will be there.
She nods. She nods and then does not mention at all her suspicions regarding Leon. Jerk has the same kind of scar as Cypher. Coincidence?
Or
I
conspiracy?
think not.
Fu has her
Some
own
point.
Fu has her own segment on InfoWars. It's incredibly brief because she just stares at the camera and just silently glares.
Says 2 words and then it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case,
The only reason she has not actually gone and confronted Leon is because she doesn't feel as if she's powerful enough to yet. She feels like she needs to be able to take him in a fight first. Then she can confront him.
I mean, that's a very Fu thing to do.
Exactly.
don't fight anyone you know is stronger than you. That's like rule number 1 of fighting. But in that case, you're all good to go, and the gummy ship is waiting for you. And with that, you board the Dreadnought Decatur. You fly your way down, and you find yourself approaching the city of Paris.
I imagine just as they're getting in, Dredd just goes over the PA and starts chatting in fluent French with air control over Paris.
Yes, we'll go with that. Dredd is fluent in French.
Hey, look, when you're on patrol, and when he was doing an exchange with the little Quebec police force, he had to make sure he was multilingual.
I was gonna just say, also can have good. Can use the literal supercomputer on his arm to be a translator that actually works as well.
Air controller's like, Monsieur, your voice is very robot.
No, I was saying do translations and like actually so you see my tone of voice to it.
Mm. No, I just wanted the opportunity to do the Inspector Crabtree joke of you speak with a French accent so bad it's almost like you're mispronouncing things. I was pissing by the door. Never mind.
Are we basically coming in with the gummy ship disguised as just an actual plane?
I mean, that's what you did at Zootopia.
Yeah, that's what I figured we were doing here. I was just double checking.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna land at Charles de Gaulle Airport. I will say there is a perk because this is Kingdom Hearts. Everyone speaks Galactic Common, so
Yeah.
you're good.
All right.
But the gag is still there for the laugh.
Just every so often we have to speak slowly and loudly at someone until they understand what English is. But yeah. Dribble, taxi down, pop it in a hangar, just turn over to everyone and go, alright, so, Navi, are you sure we should go with superheroes for this? Kind of high profile, isn't it? Edward, you are muted. He turns to Rich to the camera as he says this.
While we are waiting for Ed, John. Oh wait, Ed, you are here. You were asked a question.
Yeah. I'm noticing I'm just having severe problems with my connection.
Oh dear. Do you want to repeat what I said, or?
I don't know, but it's been bad constantly to the point where it's hurting. Why don't you go without me for a second? I'm going to see about restarting the router.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So while he's doing that, John.
Yep.
So Tsukasa steps out of the gummy ship, and guess what he's wearing?
I have no idea what is he wearing.
He's wearing his normal outfit actually.
Oh. Okay.
With two major changes.
Okay.
You're carrying a briefcase, and on top of your camera that you carry around your neck all the time, you're also wearing a lanyard with a card on it.
I mean, he'll take a look at this card.
It says College du Petit, staff, professor of photography with your picture on it.
Ah. Yeah, he'll say, "Huh. I guess this world thinks my photography is good enough," and he'll specifically put it near, show it to Fu, who has been critical of his photography skills.
She just kind of nods and goes,
Poor taste.
All right.
or something like something like a
Abstract tastes. Firmly disagree.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Potential
mean,
lucrative gallery opening, though.
I guess. Well, I think if nothing else, we should see where I'm working today.
she nods.
Anybody else have a better plan?
Uh, is anyone else changed when they step out, or we all?
No, this is a decayed thing.
Ah,
Unless Navi's making
Okay.
everyone costumes.
Do we suck, Ed?
No, I can hear every word. It's not like every other word's being cut.
Yay.
yay!
Oh man, I was so happy.
That's good to hear.
Hmm.
All right, so I believe to go back, Judge Dredd asked Navi
Hmm.
if going full superhero out the gate was a good idea, or is a good idea, I should say.
Probably not. But we'd look cool, right?
We can go as regular civilians and transform later. That's what it seems like. According to judges and stories, that's what they were doing. So let's go disguise first and go super later when there's actual trouble.
Okay.
I mean, nothing against you, Navi. You do good work. Just I'm thinking, if we want to keep
Nobody
low
can
profile,
sew button eyes like I can.
By the way, Fu does she does suddenly start arranging everybody without warning. Just kind of like moves them to be in certain positions, and then takes a selfie with everybody at the airport.
Why my lens flare?
Navi, can you turn your flash off for a second?
You blinked.
How can you tell?
She shrugs.
Internally, he's like, damn, how could you tell?
By the way, is Dredd going incognito again for now? Is he in full judge gear?
He's probably going in the street clothes he was in before, so like he's walking around, but he's got like a baseball cap. Like it's the stylistic thing of like there's perma shadow covering the top half of his face.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing is saying. Like, can you help make me give me the this is a regular, but I might need some the regular skin pigmentation.
It's Kingdom Hearts, you'll be fine.
Yeah, true.
Mm.
Look, if people don't care about there being a talking dog and a talking duck who can cast magic, you're going to be fine.
Especially since we're in France.
Yeah.
Fair.
You're just a cool cosplayer.
I mean, I was more implying that everyone's
Sweet
too
cosplay.
drunk and apathetic to really care, but yeah, that's also a thing.
Oh! You were doing like
To the French
sort of
alcoholics.
like a cultural sort of racism thing is what you were going
a little
for.
bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, have you
okay.
met the French?
No, I can only assume that you being closer to the French
I've met the French multiple
means that
times,
you're
and every
more
single
likely
time
to.
I've been treated like dog shit. So yeah, fuck them. Germany, absolutely lovely. France, bunch of pricks.
That's a shame.
Like literally, as a secondary school child, going through a German truck stop at 1 a.m, and these like big burly German truckers just greeting us like long lost uncles, and just talking with us while we're waiting for the bus to be refueled. They were the nicest people I had met ever on holiday. Then we get to France, and every single person we talk to is just like, What? This way.
From all of my like in high school, I took 4 years of German, and there was a lot of German cultural education in there too, and a lot of it boiled down to be polite and hospitable.
Pretty
Be
much.
cool. Just be cool.
It's sausage, beer, and being chill.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we learned that was pretty much emblematic of what to expect if one were doing a trip through Germany is that it's not uncommon for restaurants for people that are not with your party to sit with you anyway.
Hmm.
If there's room at the table,
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a fun
and like
time.
that's just a normal thing.
But yeah, all right. That does sound fun. But let's keep this game rolling, keep the steam going, so we can actually continue. I believe you're going to go to the school now, since that's the only lead you have from both Akane and Tsukasa.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Not Akane, but
we know we're scanning for the gem,
yeah.
and that emits its own energy, doesn't it?
I don't know if it does.
The way I've been playing is that the closest you can get is to the world, and then once there, it's a bit
right.
more.
Okay, once you get in there, it's all just. The only thing was, Dredd just wanted to try and maybe check up on what Vivi had been saying about being being enclosed, but if he can't really use anything to ambiently detect what might be right, there's no real point in trying to do that.
Yeah. So
Fu is going to be joining Tsukasa and going to wherever it is that he works. She kind of has an idea that this could lead her to newspapers or other pieces of journalism that she could use to ascertain some things some goings on recently.
possibility.
So yeah, we'll
Anybody else?
head over to the school.
All right. So you go through the city of Paris, and this version of Paris is very nice. It's brightly lit, and it's clean, and people seem relatively friendly. And you find yourself in front of a large school building.
So, just real quick, Luke,
Yo.
tell me an awkward thing that like an awkward image. Describe an awkward image related to Dread in Paris.
A mine probably obstructs them, and Dredd just fucking throws him over his shoulder.
you just judo slam a freaking mime.
Yeah, okay, I've added this to my list of pictures.
I love this.
Just as
Dread throwing a mime over his shoulders in front of a park.
into a fountain.
That's not gonna be a villain later.
Yeah, definitely not. How every episode of Marcus Ladybug starts.
Tsukasa, he does he actually work at the school in this badge?
According to his badge, yeah, he's a
Okay.
professor of photography.
Yep.
Yeah, so you approach the school, and it's this two-story building with a large quad area in the center. There are stairs leading up to it too, and that's where you see, students are starting to gather. And you, as you approach, you hear a voice that says, "Officer Dredd, Officer Dredd." You hear someone start running up.
Turns around.
It's
assuming
the
it's-
girl from,
yeah.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh, hey, I just wanted to check up. Did that kid get home okay?"
Yes. Managed to get them in touch with known associate, and they were able to take custody. Thank you very much for your tip. He put air quotes around it verbally, but not physically.
No problem. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help people. Yeah. So all the rest of you do see this, by the way. This is happening like, right in front of us.
Friend of yours?
Yeah.
She says.
I was gonna say, I'm out of character. I've forgotten her name. I can't recall if I even got it.
I don't think you did.
I don't think
you
I.
just
Yeah.
know her.
Yes, this is pause girl. Assisted me in my inquiries while I was in the city last.
My name's Marinette, and she offers her hand.
Fu.
She shakes her hand.
I'd like to imagine she was offering a hand to Dredge, and Fu just kind of ducks in and scoops the handshake out.
Oh, I thought she was introducing herself to everyone else.
No, she was.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Just
Okay.
I just like the idea of Fu cock blocking the handshake, just like
That would be hilarious and out of character, unfortunately.
damn.
Yeah. Offers hands to everyone, including Navi, awkwardly.
Bob.
Just grabbing the tip of like one finger and
So
going
Navi,
up and down.
So Navi is definitely just a fairy.
Yes,
Yes.
Fair enough.
a very, very small fairy that puts out a flight that she looks like a blue orb.
Yeah, there's no way Navi could be mistaken for something else in this universe.
Yep.
I'm tempted to do it at some point. We'll see how it goes.
You kind of have to. It's kind of, I think, the perfect thing to do in this world.
I'll explain it
All
when it happens.
Right. Yeah. So when Tsukasa shakes her hand, he says, I'm Tsukasa. I'm the new professor of photography here.
Oh, I actually just signed up. I'm taking you first period.
All right. Would you mind showing me around? It's my first day here, and I wasn't given any instructions to where I was supposed to be going.
Sure, you can just follow me to the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And starts walking you inside with. Yeah.
Just kind of holding up a finger, but is ignored as they leave. All right then.
Yeah.
Very young.
I mean, sorry, didn't catch that. Whatever.
Yeah, Fu just kind of like made the comment like,
Very young professor.
That doesn't seem to have stopped him in any of the other personas he's adopted.
Clearly, I'm just a genius.
Clearly.
Arguable.
Anyway, I suppose we should take this time to scope out this place, see if we can find any more evidence of Heartless or any other kind of incursion. Maybe check the register, see if any students are missing.
Yep, sounds good. I'm gonna go teach my class that I am, and show the children here how to really understand how to do great photography. Yeah, Tsukasa is going to walk.
Somehow Dredd manages to give you a totally sarcastic thumbs up.
it is so difficult for food to not be like, I need to see how much of how bad this is going to be.
I mean, Fu, you could fit in as a student here if you wanted to go to class.
She's really tempted to, just to know.
Go on, you might learn something.
She frowns,
Be the really
and then she will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, be the really awkward student who asks the not kind of non sequitur questions.
Yes, she's going to go for the sake of heckling him, but subtly. She's going to ask him questions he doesn't know the answer to.
Heckling him 2 words at a time.
Yes.
I don't know how this will work, but it'll work
Just,
somehow.
yes, you at the back. You suck.
But I was trying to not blind anyone.
And then Fu just dabs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know what Tsukasa and Fu are doing. What's everyone else up to?
Well, I'm gonna be going to the principal's office.
Actually, Navi will probably be doing that as well.
I'll follow along.
All right. I suppose if we're going to be doing this in any kind of official capacity, he just kind of stops, looks at Navi and Bob. Right. Puts a hand on Bob's shoulder, kind of puts his hand roughly in the direction of Navi, and then just puts his hand palm up. Just kind of waits for Navi to sit in it.
Yeah, just land and sit.
All right, as of substatute substatute X38307329 of Megacity 1's Order Laws and Ordinances, I now officially deputise you as sub-judges until I deem relevant. If we're going to do official inquiries, I'm doing it properly.
I have done inquiries as a guardian, so I have done.
Think of it as a cross-judicial piece of legislation. Also, Navi, feel free to make yourself a little helmet if you want.
I will. What are the responsibilities of a sub-judge?
Everything up to extrajudicial executions.
Okay.
Although if you really feel like you need to, just ask and I'll probably say yes.
Okay.
Honestly, it kind of annoys me because sub-judges are actually given arguably more leeway because they're not expected to know all the laws and ordinances. It's more on me. So if you go around just shooting people in the kneecaps, I've got to answer for it. So please don't do that.
I'll try my best.
Navi, mad with power.
I mean, that's never really been a departure from the character.
All right. So,
Yeah.
as this conversation ends, a woman approaches you, Dredd.
Oh no. My swag.
And very neatly dressed woman with black hair tied up in a bun. There's a red streak though, and she approaches and says, "I believe you said you were an officer, correct?"
Yes, that is correct. And Officer Dredd, these are my 2 deputies.
Well, as it sounds like you are not from Parisian jurisdiction, which is correct with me, but my employer, and she got a card, offers you a business card. My employer is looking for extra security for a party tonight.
Interesting. What makes you think I'm available? Or interested in working private security?
It's merely an offer. Even though my employer is one of the most powerful men in Paris, it should be worth your while. But if you say no, that is your right to do so.
No, I think I'd like to meet the man who thinks my badge is for rent. Tell him I'll be there. Just folds the card up and puts it in his pocket. He's obviously radiating pissed off vibes.
All Have a good day, officer. And nods to Navi and Bob and turns and heads back to her, to a very nice limo, and the car heads off.
Who the fuck was that?
What's the card say?
Excellent question. Unfolds it, looks at it now, realizing he never actually looked at anything.
Yeah. All right. So that person's name is. Give me a second. I only know their last name. Let me do a Google search.
Is it the father of the hero?
Well, the person who handed you the card and like the person that handed you the card, the one name is Natalie Sencour, and basically it says that she is the personal assistant to Gabriel Agreste.
Yep.
And then just has general business information and stuff.
Interesting. Not what I expected this data to begin with, but we can work with it, I suppose. Right. And yeah, he'll head off to browbeat the principal.
All right. So, meanwhile, over in a certain classroom, you go in. It's a very nice classroom. There are some students who are already getting. It's basically it's tiered seating with basically tables on each side, two people at a table, going all the way back, and there are some students already taking their seats. I can give you the full tour after class, if you want, Professor. Marinette says.
Thank you. We'll see if I have time for that afterwards.
Same with you, Fu, if you're interested, and I can take you to my family's bakery across the street. And she looks out the window, and then kind of pauses and looks confused as she looks out the window.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't. That's my shop right there, and right now, I don't remember that photo studio moving in.
Tsukasa looks over. I'm
Hikaru
assuming
studio. Yeah.
the Hikaru studio. Huh. I've heard they do good work. And then just turns back as if nothing's wrong.
Fu just pinches the bridge of her nose. Then she will take a seat.
All right, so students have kind of filed in and taken seats. So there are some open seats. There's one next to some redhead kid near the back wearing glasses, and another next to some blonde girl, and then another next to a woman in a red jacket with brown hair. Which do you choose?
Hello?
Did I cut off or something?
Oh, no, I think I cut out there.
Okay. So, Nate, which of these seats do you choose?
Honestly, she just picks one. Like she doesn't pay too much mind.
Okay, so just roll a d3 because there might be conversation.
Okay. The middle.
All right, so you sit next to the blonde girl.
Sounds good.
And almost immediately she just looks at you and is like, excuse me, who are you?
New student.
Go sit with the other new students. This is for my assistant, not you.
His seat was empty.
That's because she is currently getting me coffee. She will be back soon. And just this tense standoff happens.
Yeah, or where she looks to the front of the class as if she has not been spoken to at all.
Oh, by the way, does anybody want to make any links before I forget? Well, everything's still fresh in everybody's mind.
No, Fu hasn't really interacted with anybody in the sense. Although I would, I she doesn't know who this person's name is. As soon as she knows their name, I'll try to make a dark link with them.
Okay. Do you know who I am? My father is the mayor of Paris. I am Chloe Bourgeoisie.
Ironic.
There you go. Now you can make your dark link.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and make a dark link with her.
And I assume your dark is still your worst.
Yeah, it's one of my worst. I have two things at 0: dark and mastery.
All right, so take a free experience and roll them bones.
So that is a 6.
So take another experience. So I give you a link. It's. I'm actually going to give you a dark link with Marinette
Oh,
because she seemed really happy to talk to Tsukasa, and you're a tsundere.
oh, okay.
And then I'll just bank a hard move for later.
Sounds good.
Any links want to be made on the Dread Navi?
Navi hasn't really had a chance to make any links.
Same here.
To be fair, same. Like,
Technically, you can try to say you make a dark link with that.
I mean, I don't think there's been enough of an interaction to really justify it. Like, I know mechanically making them is advantageous, but in the narrative, it just doesn't make sense for Dredd to be like, fuck that person in particular for the one thing they said to me that they were meant to do.
That's important, yeah. So, but yeah, so then class starts. I'm just gonna give a bit of a just quick overview. How is Tsukasa class? And do we want to put it to a mastery push through stress in order to teach this class?
Tsukasa does actually have a plan here that so Tsukasa's entire thing is to talk about the philosophy of photography and about how it's about capturing the world you're in and making sure that to like hold on to as much as of that world as possible. But he will answer 0 questions about anything about the technical aspects of taking photos.
Some students start raising their hand, and you
AKA Fu drills him on the tactical aspects of photography. 2 words at a time.
aperture later, but a lot more smoother because it's Tsukasa.
Yeah. Yeah, Tsukasa's general like deflection is, oh well, that's not as important as the why of taking the photo.
Yeah. Okay. So she asks about composition then.
Do you just want to roll an interference on my mastery roll?
Yeah. Roll mastery, push through stress, and you can go ahead and roll an interference.
Sure. What do I do for interference?
Roll dark.
See, John, normally when players are rolling against players in Power by the Apocalypse games, it's for like serious and dire things. This is just our characters being silly.
The education of our children is important, Nate.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I got a 7.
I also got a 7. So what is the?
Okay, so in this one, it's so you push your. So here's the thing: you choose one. They take experience if they don't do it, or he has to push through stress again in order to do it properly.
Hmm. You know, he has to do it again because he needs to actually start. He needs to actually start lecturing on composition a little bit.
Okay, so we'll just say that 7 was you succeeding at what you were doing for that role. So now you have to roll to actually succeed on teaching.
Okay. I don't.
Do you want to spend a link?
You go to
Yeah, I'm going to spend my link with Natsumi Hikari, the person who actually knows how to do photography. I roll worse, so.
No,
But I do
you just
get
want to go
to-
visit the studio.
Yeah.
So you get
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, Tsukasa impresses absolutely no one.
Yeah. More due to the heckling, if any.
now I guess I have to ask, does it seem like he's uncomfortable? Like, does it seem like he's not having fun?
Not really. Like the thing is, he's not taking this whole thing at all seriously because he didn't like. This isn't a job he worked for. This was just something he was given when he appeared on this world.
Okay.
So he has very little like actual like
Investment.
investment. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking, because if it seemed like she was genuinely upsetting him, she would stop.
No, it honestly seems more like the only person he actually cares about, like, in this class is Fu. Like, he doesn't care about any of these other people. He's like, I'm gonna show off how much I know about photography. And then he's like, shit.
All right, so class passes, and it's not great. We'll cut back to after class consequences later. Over to team investigation, principal side. So you walk into the school and start looking around. Like, there's a big quad up front, and basketball and stuff. But a couple of classrooms on either side, locker rooms. But upstairs, you do find a principal's office.
Fair enough then. Yeah, Dredd will turn to the others like, you're free to come with me. You're free to look around, see if you can find anything of interest. It's up to you. And I'm going to go and have a word with the principal.
I'm sorry, I've derailed this.
What the fuck are you... What the fuck?
I fed something into a neural network, and that's what it wrote for me.
How dare that apple slice hurt Bob?
Also, Navi's boss is Navi, who is G-Man.
That would be the most unsettling thing to just, we zoom in on Navi and it's actually just a floating, glowing blue G-Man.
Mr. Freeman.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman.
I mean, the first thing she does is wake up Link. So
Hey, listen. Well, it was a nice game, guys. We killed everyone.
Fuck.
This is like a dream sequence. What the heck?
I fed it a coherent first sentence, and then it gave me everything else.
so you did the Judge Dredd you did the Judge Dredd sentence and the Bob sentence, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
And the
that's all I
rest?
did.
All right, then. This is beautiful.
I just like how it just inserts G-Man for fucking no reason.
Also, Joker.
Also, Joker.
Yeah.
Those are the Jokers.
Yeah, the
And the
gang.
Electro? It was just like, all right, fuck it, we're doing a fan fiction. We're gonna do it right. I'm a robot.
I mean,
I'm wondering who the rogues are.
I think the rogues are from DC Comics.
All right, I'll have to look it up later.
I'm trying to think of where things got G-Man. It's like Judge Dredd, Navi, Paris, and Bob. None of them suggest G-Man.
Yeah. There's no reason why any of the things that were pulled into this were.
Well, now,
There's no other reason to, but it's great.
well, now reading that, I gotta change up my notes for this second. Damn it.
This would be how you structure every world from here on out.
I'll think
Feed
about it.
the base introduction scene into a neural network, and then everything else is where you get your plot from.
I'm just gonna spoiler alert I'm just gonna spoil you right now. This world is one of the most absurd crossovers I've ever written, and you're jumping into it like head first. So it's
God.
going to seem like this once we get to the end of everything.
If Navi turns out to be the G-Man, I'm done.
I can make no promises, but
at the end of all of this, Tyler just mutes us all and puts on the end track for Half-Life Alyx.
anyways, so
Navi's going to get on Dredd's shoulder and go in with him.
Right.
and Bob,
Yep, following.
She doesn't tell Dredd about the benefactors who were cheering him on.
Swear to God, I'm going to stab someone and it might just be me. Because I can't reach the rest of you fucks.
so you go to the principal's office, and there's this very big man with like a beard. He looks like an owl, kind of. I'm gonna be honest, he looks like an owl, and he's like sitting there behind his desk, and he's like, hello, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Detective Brett. Detective Brett. Fuck.
You gotta roll with it now.
Yes. Detective Brett, this is Constable Croissant. He gestures to the thing floating on his shoulder.
I'm
Look,
Croissant?
I didn't want to be bread. You can be a pastry.
This conversation is happening in front of him, and it's entirely canon, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's like yes, I was sent by Inspector Pamplemousse.
And who's the other gentleman behind you?
This is one of our outside consultants. This is
Muffin.
Dr. Mutton, yes.
Dr. Muffin.
Which, considering I know what Bob looks like, Dr. Mutton is going to be like a white old guy with bushy white hair, a red nose, and spectacles. But no, we've got a blue guy with green dreadlocks. Could have sworn. Also, you're really quiet, Richard. Not sure if that's just me.
I have my mic up.
Ah, there we go. Yes. We're. It was brought to our attention not too long ago that there have been incidents around the city where people have been abducted, people have been attacked by unusual assailants. We were making inquiries around town, and we wanted to make sure that naturally the school was safe and there have been no unusual disappearances, absences, or altercations within the school. You know, you understand, routine inspections.
The principal looks a little surprised. It's like, I haven't heard any abductions, but you know, it's just the usual trouble here in the city of Paris, and even in the school, we have our usual fights. You know, not fights, but our squabbles. And out in the city, there are, you know, the Akumas, but our heroes save the day, of course. Our dear Ladybug and Chat Noir. Things have been going quite well in the city. Actually, I've heard of I've heard of rumors of monsters, but they've been dealt with thanks to our heroes.
Mm. We like to make sure we're thorough with these kind of things. The last thing that anyone wants is for us to assume the job is done and then be surprised when it isn't.
Of course. Well, there have been no disappearances at the school. A couple of villains, but that's about it. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And in terms of major events that the school might be involved in, no field trips, no parties or anything like that you might be hosting? No potential risks?
Not that we're hosting, though I did get a little invite from you know Gabriel Agrest, of course. His son basically invited everyone to the school to a party that his father's having on the mansion grounds.
Yes, I was made aware of that just a moment ago by Natalie Sincour, I think it is.
His assistant, yes.
Yes. Any particular reason why he'd want so many people at this event? Apart from clout, I suppose.
That's Mr. Agrest is a mysterious man, but clout does sound nice enough. He is the greatest fashion designer in our world and most important man in the city of Paris. It's probably just a new fashion show showing off his new line or something like that.
Interesting. Well, that's worth knowing, I suppose. Very well. Thank you for answering my questions. I would only ask that if you do hear of anything unusual or anything was to arise, you would make the right decision and call the police before seeking the help of superheroes.
Well, it's not like we call the superheroes. They just happen to appear and save the day. And as much as Robert is a competent cop, he's not exactly Akuma material.
Yeah, Dredd is just badly hiding his contempt. And yeah, he'll leave it at that unless Constable Quasson or Dr. Masson want to ask any further questions.
Not really.
Not really, right? I can't think of anything. Oh, actually, when was the last you were talking about some of these monster attacks you guys have regularly? When was the last one that happened at this school?
School was a few months ago. If you're asking in general, it was about a week ago, I'd say.
There's no lasting damage from these things.
Well, the way we've experienced, it seems like Ladybug used fix all the problems after defeating the villain. I've even seen it fix a destroyed Eiffel Tower once.
Great, thank you for the information.
Right, well, I will leave you to your work, sir.
Of course. Gives a small nod and says, thank you for your time. And, I will be here if you have any more questions.
Certainly. And yeah, he'll lead everyone out. Just sighs as they leave the office and sliding back out. Like, yeah. Well, that was something of a bust. At least all this to follow up on.
It sounds like if they're having these regular tax things, they get fixed up right away. It might be harder to find anything lasting if it's always cleared away.
Yes.
So
Seems to be a very complacent place as well, taking all of this in
Eh.
stride.
well, if the heroes are able to reset everything to zero with no lasting problems for a while now, I guess it's not something they have to worry about.
It's a fair point, I suppose.
It's not like other cases where you can see the cost of victory. It's just wait a while and if it never has happened.
Yeah, I heard about what you had to deal with as well.
Yeah, Megabyte was pain. Although he had, yes, we were able to stop him, but then the darkness came and that was a bit too much there.
Yeah.
Let's not look another one. Otherwise, you get decharged again.
Those boys weren't very good for anything except using the toilet. What the
I'll stop after this.
Yes.
I'm done. This is in a weird way.
The boy did not come as clean fees. The boy would lose his dog.
Reality is the absence of hope.
This is some nihilist shit that this neural network told me.
What?
Look at the very last sentence.
Wow, this is just
Hope.
Hope and rational
Where's
thinking
the
exist as one and the same. The other doesn't. Reality is the absence of hope. What fucking Descartes bullshit is that? We show up in France for 60 seconds and already we've got fucking nihilistic philosophy bleeding into everything. Bastards.
All right, so we're gonna cut back to the end of Tsukasa's last lesson.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, so after the lesson, some very confused-looking students. We're just like, I just wanted to learn how to take photos. Start kind of piling out of the room, and though one of them approaches you. A guy with the one that I mentioned with red hair and the glass. He approaches you and is like, he actually seemed to really like your talk. It's like, Professor, that was actually a little philosophical, but it was profound. I really liked your lesson today. John, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
John might be triple muted right now.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. You didn't get to hear Sukasa being sorry. Yeah, so Sukasa says, thank you. I'm glad someone, he specifically looks at Fu, understood the value of my lesson.
Yes, no, I'd really like to learn from more about photography from you. Maybe see some of your shots. It'd be really interesting. By the way, did Tsukasa take roll? Like he's technically supposed to, but he didn't get his job normally, so we don't care.
No, he didn't.
My name's Raphael. By the way, offers a hand.
Yeah, he'll shake the hand.
No, and he starts kind of trying to get to you to talk because he's apparently a big history nerd, specifically art history, and so he just wants to talk to you about art history and photography and stuff, and just rambling on with you.
I mean,
About that.
Fu's also around to listen.
Yeah. Actually, Fu, you are approached.
Okay, by who?
A very attractive blonde kid. Looks like he could be a model or something. Says, "Hey, you're new around?
New student.
Nice to meet you. Well, you probably know my name, but
She shakes her head.
he looks a little surprised. Oh well, it's Adrian Agrest. You probably he looks a little embarrassed as he thumbs towards the window, and you remember out there was a giant billboard perfume ad with his face on it and his name on it.
Oh, perfume ad.
Well, I think technically cologne, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, he was like, yeah. So if you're a new student, I was wondering if well, my father is hosting a party tonight, and I can introduce you to some people there, make some new friends if you're interested. If you're new around here, always happy to have new people around.
She thinks about this and thinks about the possibility that this could lead to information gathering, and then nods.
And he smiles at her and says, "Oh, thank you. It's nice to meet you. Fu, was it?
Fu. Yes.
It's nice to meet you." And, he's
Location?
smiling. It's at the Agrest Mansion. You'll see everybody else going there. He points out the window, and you see a big house since he points at.
Okay, yeah, she looks at that and nods.
Well, I guess I'll see you tonight then.
Yes.
And suddenly, all this conversation is cut off by screams in the distance. Yeah, both groups hear this.
What was that?
There's a kid going mad at someone over not being allowed to have their dog back from a restaurant.
Well, he owes cleaning fees, okay?
Yeah, and the
I don't know
dog's
what to tell
collateral.
you.
That dog shat everywhere. God damn it.
And even Dredd had to explain it to him.
Yeah, got the principal out. We sat him down, and the kid just would not goddamn listen.
How is that
Listen,
one totally coherent? That's the what actually makes sense.
there's screams over there. Let's go.
Why do we always run towards the screaming?
Because we are officers of the law and start running over.
Fu gives a pointed look to Tsukasa.
Yeah, Tsukasa will start running as well. He will pull his belt out from wherever, his fanny pack, I guess. That's what we established.
It's part of your specially designed suit to teach a class of students. Also known as a blazer and slacks.
Which card was this one? What rider is he now?
Ryder Layton, that's what he is.
God damn it.
I played this entirely on Nate.
Oh, same. Fuck you, Nate. God damn it.
I take responsibility.
You brought the neural net in.
I brought a neural network in, and then everything fell apart. I'm so sorry.
All right, so you run outside.
Yeah.
And meet up all together, and you steer hill for like lots of people screaming off in like the park that's near the school.
Okay. Is it the same park that that Dread pile drive a mime into a fountain?
Did
Yes,
not
yes, it
pile
is.
drive him into a fountain. I threw him into a fountain.
Okay.
Pile driving
Okay.
would imply getting myself wet in the process.
Yeah. All right. Fair. Yeah.
One mime's not worth it.
There's a tombstone, and then a last ride off the ropes
Oh,
into the fountain.
God damn it.
But yeah, so that's where it's coming from. The fountain or the park where that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, Dread. I mean, Dread is pretty much just taking off there at a dead run.
Yeah. Fu is also.
Yeah,
Fu is
same.
also.
You can
on
tell
his
he's
side.
a criminal.
We're all dashing
Yeah.
towards the danger.
All right. So as you run in, you see there are people who seem to be like pushing against something that you can't see, like they're trying to escape, but they can't.
Mimes. Dread's just gonna run at them.
Yeah. So these are like normal civilians, and you face first into a wall that doesn't look like it's there.
So does Dread just bounce off it then?
Yeah.
Ow!
Look out! It's a trap!
Really? Just rubbing his face. Ow. Alright, that's new.
And sort
Navi's
of,
gonna float up and try and look and see if she can find anyone suspicious.
well, I was going to say you hear them, but you don't because they're a mime. There's a very angry, evil-looking mime.
Oh,
in the
son
park,
of
but-
a bitch! I created this. I sowed the seed of my own destruction.
Dread, over there!
Dread's nemesis.
So I'm just going to explain it right now, Luke. You're in Miraculous Ladybug Paris, and the way villains is that there is a villain called Hawkmon who, whenever he senses someone with negative emotions in Paris, because apparently in Paris there's only one person who has negative emotions ever at a time. He uses his powers to turn them into a supervillain. That's the plot of Miraculous Ladybug.
That's fucked up.
So
Well-
you knock this guy into the fountain, he gets pissed off, and then gets turned into a supervillain.
Shouldn't be a fucking mime then, should he? He's probably inspired more people to have negative emotions.
All right. Well, I mean,
Dread, press the Z button to target.
What? My immersion just falls into the fetal position. I suppose Bob just kind of nods and goes, "Ah, of course."
Of course, yeah.
Yep.
Wait, is
Meanwhile-
Decade transforming?
Yep. He's got his belt on, so he opens it up. And for the first time, you see actual Common Rider Decade.
Also, I think that was focused on the YouTube window, so the
I mean, I can play that again.
also you didn't say the magic word.
Oh, yes, of course.
Imagine his transformation just didn't go off properly. So like one leg and an arm have transformed and the rest of him is still
Yes.
normal. It's like, oh, fuck. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
This hardly
So
ever
it's,
happens, I swear.
Haha. Henshin.
And then the music plays normally, but then
Yeah. I mean, I can put in a more appropriate like music track if you guys want. I can.
do you have a more appropriate one?
I might. Give me a moment. I have it on my other computer. It's not helpful.
Oh man, the more I'm on this wiki for this show I have never seen before in my life, the more I want my character to just do a costume change on Dread and just make a hawk costume
Oh, that would be good.
and then hide
man.
inside of his helmet.
While John is searching for something, I broke it. Just so you know,
You broke the
I
thing.
broke the neural network.
Oh no! I thought you told us you were done.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna read this. Just so we got some ASMR stuff to work with here as well. Judge Dredd threw a mime into a fountain. The mime then became a supervillain. A puking orphan named Dr. Archie Brown is watching a movie with his uncle, the character from Valedictorian, when some teenagers drop acid. He pisses up the brain tub from this. Pluses on methadone. Acne, cancer, ethnic roids, sleeping pills. Valedictorian. The sixth, most popular grade. The classmen who had the most difficulty following this grade, much like an otaku seeking the next Nikoniko video, was you, star Katsuki, whose name literally means I don. I actually made a little star shape with my hands when I did you, Katsuki, as well. Because apparently being awake at 4:15 in the morning just does shit.
Yeah. So apparently Judge Dredd broke more than just this mime. He broke the neural network.
Finally, Skynet has been defeated by apparently just pumping some naked lunch excerpts into it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you defeated Skynet by doing something so ridiculous that it can only reply with naked lunch.
I mean, just the words "he pisses up the brain tub" from this as a reaction
Yeah.
is just mwah, pluses on methadone.
So I'm going to be honest. The other day I learned that someone uploaded the entirety of Pair on YouTube, so I watched it, and I'm just reading this as a really terrible Neil Breen monologue as well.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, that would be so choice.
Also, is Twisted Pair your first Neil Breen?
It is actually.
Oh, you've started on a bad one. You want to watch Pass Through.
Yeah, you do.
Pass Through is
All right,
dramatically more psychotic.
All right, I'll do what I can.
The Cleanse.
Technically, my first Breen air quotes was Eyes on Breen, as done by Role Playing Public Radio.
Ah, yes. Oh, God, I
okay.
remember listening to that and just being like, God, this is so close to what it would feel like to be in one.
Even worse. Like 2 weeks ago, he put out. So the slasher people made another game called Stories from the Grave, which is like a Tales from the Crypt type game designed to do it's designed to do anthology horror. And so they did a Dark Ultimatum, the Breenthology part.
Oh, God. Terrifying.
So they did another Breen movie.
Just give that man his own Netflix like love, death, robots kind of thing to work with.
Anyways, John, did you find the thing you were looking for?
No, I couldn't find a loop long enough of miraculous music to use for this. So I mean, I can go back to Common Rider if you want, but
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so yeah, Decade transformed. Dread ran into a wall, and you were there's an evil mine in the close distance. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
We need to figure out a way to get through this dome wall thing.
I think he's controlling it. Is he on the other side of the dome, or is he on our side?
Well, it's an invisible wall, so you can't see it. You might be able to come down, but he is on he. You don't know because it's invisible.
Fu is going to ask Navi for a costume change.
What would we try and
Because
dig
everyone
into?
else is going to be transforming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Navi's gonna try to do that for everyone who can't transform. Let me see here. The move was costume change.
And then I just want to know what Navi transforms Fu into. I need to know.
Ooh. That is a shitty roll. Let's see, that's a 3 plus my mastery. Of plus 1 is a 4. So I fail.
Are you gonna use...
You want to spend a link?
Oh.
I'm
Yeah,
also curious what happens if you fail at transforming.
The problem
my
is
clothes.
there's no fail state. Is the thing
Yeah,
for that move.
unfortunately. Yeah, I'll spend my heart link with Zelda since that one's a locked link, so I won't lose it permanently. And that just lets me reroll 1 or 2.
Basically, you roll a third die. Take.
Mm-hmm. And that one was a 6, so I take the 2 highest, so that's an 8. And with an 8, it's going to be pick 2. So the costume is flawless, and every party member gets a costume that, and I assume that wants one at this point.
Yeah.
It's animal themed. Probably butterfly themed for you, Fu.
Okay.
Like with wings that are kind of like Navi's own wings. And if she manages to get Dread, it's going to be an eagle, like based off of his motif.
Is it like does Fuse have like is it like the vaguely homestuck like butterfly pajamas with a
These are the shittiest costumes with like button eyes.
Okay.
Like this is clearly if you've seen the monster masks that are in Breath of the Wild, like that is the level of crafting costume.
But they look surprisingly good because you did say they are.
Yes, they are flawlessly done. Just button eyes.
So they look terrible for the comedic factor, but they pass somehow.
They work.
But
what did you disguise yourself as, anyways? And what costume did you put on Bob?
Bob.
Well, Bob can transform though, right?
Technically, only transform when he's in the cube, the game thing, though.
Let's see for Bob.
I mean, I'll let you transform whenever. I'll give you that power.
Sure, I'll transform then. Let's see. I like to go into a. Didn't he have that Sentai thing? Yes, when he pilot the giant robots. He transformed. He transformed into that costume.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So Super Sentai, a Kamen Rider, and 2 really badly done animal jumpsuits.
Yes, the bug themed Super Sentai thing.
Yes, good.
I think it. Yeah.
She she looks at herself and then is just like,
Needs work.
Navi rolled make a dark link with Fu. But yeah, so you have costumes now. There is a mime who's like shooting lasers out of his fingers. Motioning things. He like motions like he's throwing a lasso, and he throws it, and like someone's running away, and they get caught like they're on a rope and start pulling back towards him.
okay. So
I would-
he has. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I was gonna form a drill and dig a tunnel to go beneath this wall, kind of thing.
All right, so you can use magic or push through stress with mastery.
I'll push through stress since I have my move for that. Since I'm using glitch.
All
So,
right,
yeah.
rolling bones.
So it's using glitch to help dig the thing, and it's pushed through a mastery. So I roll with
Yeah.
all my mastery links, basically.
Yeah. Plus
Yes.
your glitch thing, which is a +1, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Second. Mastery. 4, 6, 9, 10.
All right, so you get to pick 3, I believe. 2.
2.
Okay.
10 is 2, 7, 9 is 1. So I'll succeed what I'm doing, so I get the tunnel, and I'll take gain an advantageous position since I can surprise attack him from beneath.
All right. So yeah, you. Is the rest of the party going to follow through this tunnel, like right behind?
No, actually, she is cast arrow upon herself.
All right. So I'll just say you dig through the tunnel, and you pop out right below him, and he's at like super unstable footing, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Okay.
What is
And
and then
you're going to cast magic on yourself.
yes, I'm gonna cast magic on myself so that I can just drop from atop. So I'm gonna cast arrow on myself so I can basically go up.
All right. So that will be.
Before she does her magic, can I limit break to help her out?
Sure, Roulette. How are you helping her out?
By just circling around, helping her with her magic.
Okay then. So yeah, roll plus light.
Let's see. 2d6. That is an 8 plus light of -1. So that's 7.
So either you take a harm or spend a link, but you get a +1, Nate.
Okay.
We'll take a harm.
Okay. That with that +1, what's the roll for is it mastery, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get a 13.
All right. So you get to choose 3 options.
Okay. I will say that she I'll say that she casts arrow and basically elevates herself and will drop on him.
So bypasses the defenses, I'd say.
Yeah, bypasses defenses, and no unintended effects, and I guess causes 1 harm.
All right.
as well, basically she casts Metsu. Ultimately, is what happens,
Okay. So you go flying up in the air, and while you're up there,
and then just lands on him.
so you actually have two other heroes. You see two other heroes up there with you. Swinging in from around the park, there is a guy in a cat outfit who you immediately recognize as Adrian.
Okay.
And a girl in a ladybug outfit who you immediately recognize as the girl that walked in with Tsukasa, Marinette. And they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize we had new heroes up." Like, chat, focus on the battle, and then they just, all three of you drop down and land on. He just like, oof, and he falls into the hole.
You're cutting off the
Me?
Tyler. You kind of saying found the hole. I think he said found the hole and then kind of stopped there.
Oh, that is where I stopped. Fell the
Okay,
hole
so-
created by
Okay.
Bob.
Okay.
Excellent.
And-
Yeah. Yeah. So they all right. They land there and next to the hole. How's this supervillain mime doing?
Yeah, he's looking a little roughed up, but he's tough because he's a mime,
Oh, of course.
and yeah, he's in the hole and he's surrounded, so he he motions, raises up his hands defensively, in the hole. Reaches down like he's pulling something out of his pocket. And then he holds it up and flicks a switch, and suddenly you feel like you're being hit by a heavy gust away from him.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Let me check on the rest of the party. Dread, Decade, what are you guys up to?
I mean, I thought we followed through Bob's hole in the ground.
Food didn't. I was asking. I didn't hear from you, so I don't know if you guys did.
Yes, yeah, Decade followed through the hole in the ground. And so he's going to he's just gonna take his gun and
Just shoot him in the head.
no, he's gonna shoot the invisible remote control in the mime's hand.
All right. Roll to. You're trying to remove it, so I'd say strike with strike to subdue on that one.
Yeah.
And now everybody's currently cramped in this tiny hole. Well, big hole because it was drilled for a human-sized person, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I got a 12 on that.
All right. So you do actually manage to hit him and deal harm.
Yep.
You can take something from them, force a change of location, de-escalate the situation.
Yeah. So I'm going to shoot. I'm gonna take something from him to shoot the thing out of his hand, and then I'm gonna grab onto him, and then I'm gonna jerk him off camera, and then we're gonna be somewhere else.
Can we just go back over that? You want to jerk him off camera?
We can't go over that.
Okay. This is a kid show, man. Come on.
Yeah, we can't.
I will say, I love your.
Yeah, that's why it's off
trope.
camera.
Yeah. I love your commitment to the trope. Where are you going? Where are you fighting now?
I don't know. What's the lowest rent place that would let us film there?
Out back of an Arby's.
But I mean, hey, you're in a video game now. You have access to more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to I mean, the intent is probably to take us away from people, or away from, because Decade had not heard the magically fixes everything
Speech.
explanation. So, yeah. I mean, probably. I know that there are at least some like semi-abandoned warehouses in Paris.
You're just in a warehouse. That doesn't look like it's in Paris because it's the same warehouse that any Kamen Rider fan would know.
Yeah, yeah, and everyone's just there suddenly.
Yeah, all of you are in a warehouse.
Okay, with and like we're not even like Fu is not even going to react to the change of scenery.
Of course, that makes sense. You just move to a different location.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically. This
Nothing wrong with that.
this was a time lapse.
It's just a beat, and Dread is now standing outside the bubble, and everyone inside it has disappeared, and Dread's like, what the fuck?
Video game loading screen. No problem.
Okay. So yeah, no. So the yeah. So you kind of like shove the Miami, push, he gets a good distance from you, and suddenly he reaches like he's like drawing two guns and starts firing at your.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bang, 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 bang. Well, not making noises, of course, but he's like firing.
Well, yeah. If
Guns
he made
at
noises,
you.
he loses powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Okay. Can I?
Actually, you know what? Before you do that,
Oh.
because he's opening fire, I'm just gonna use one of my bank card moves. You guys roll to defend yourself as he suddenly opens fire on you.
Okay. Ooh, that was not good.
And not just you, I mean like the entire party roll to defend yourself.
Mhm.
I roll a 12. While I was being in too many situations of any kind of guns, probably some invisible ones as well. He knows how to dodge.
Was Dread and Navi also shifted as well?
Well, I assume Navi, you went with Fu.
Oh,
You
okay.
were just you're floating, and I want to imagine Dread went with. Unless he just wants to keep up the joke that he didn't go with the group.
I mean, I kind of wanted to let the rest of the party do some ass kicking because it tends to be Dread just doing the mud hole stomping.
That's fair.
Just like for everyone to kind of come back and Dread's just sitting there eating a sandwich, drinking a coffee. How'd it go?
Okay, I missed, so I take damage, and the situation escalates.
All right, Tsukasa, how'd you do?
Defend from harm.
John, are you double muted?
Roll with light.
I am. Also, I assume our harm clock's emptied between last session and this session.
5.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I failed, so I'm going to take that experience and I level up.
Yay!
Yeah, likewise. Have to.
Navi also takes harm. I rolled a 6 minus 1 is 5.
Oof. Yeah, so he just
I'm
opens fire.
realizing how painful having light as my lowest stat is.
Yeah. But yeah, he just opens fire on you, and there's a lot of like sparking bullet damage things coming off of you. And finally, you all like dive behind cover. Fu, you land behind cover with Navi and. Okay, here's how it splits up. Navi, Fu, Bob, and Ladybug land behind one set of cover. Decade and Chat Noir basically full on dive out through a window almost, just need to get to cover, and they're out in the alley behind the warehouse.
Yeah, Fu winces as she takes cover.
And
Uh,
yeah, you're all sitting there. Ladybug's like, this is getting really bad.
It's gonna be okay.
Have a plan.
I'm gonna cast magic again,
Okay.
unless you want to go first, Richard.
I was just going to try and strike to subdue.
That is legit.
Yeah, Ladybug does point out like that flower. That's probably the important thing. If we can get that away from him, I can deal with it.
Okay. Get the flowers important thing.
That's
Okay.
the flower is the important thing. Yeah.
I rolled a 7 to strike to subdue, so I'm thinking. I shoot a taser and shock him so that he lets go of his invisible guns.
Okay.
Remove his
So-
range option there. I give him a shock so he drops his invisible guns.
Okay, but you still do take a harm because you did not select defend from harm.
I don't see that as an option for strike to subdue.
It's not an option on strike to subdue. So if you strike to subdue, you take a harm. This game is totally balanced.
Wow. Trying to be the good guy here is the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so his guns are gone.
Okay. I rolled a 10, by the way, to cast magic at him.
All right, what are you going to cast?
Let's see. Does he still have his shield up?
No, he does not.
All right. She will manifest a like a green windy sort of like chakram in her hand. And 'cause she's been practicing magic. And she will rush him. So I'll use Psy, basically a 3-hit melee combo with a chakram of wind.
You're gonna deal 3 harm.
Yeah, deal because it causes 3 harm.
All right, so you do take a harm, of course. Actually, no, you don't, because it's not an attack. I'll say you take the harm because you didn't shoot. No consequences.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so he just like falls out and he's like tired. He's basically down for the count. Ladybug runs up, grabs his little flower on his shirt and just rips it off, and suddenly, like this dark butterfly moth looking thing appears out of nowhere, like coming from it. And she's like, yeah, no more evil dealing for you, little Akuma. And she like swings her yo-yo weapon that catches it, and then she like pulls the fit, and then she like draws a line on it, and it opens like bye bye little butterfly, and this dark moth turns into a little like white butterfly and flies off into the distance. She's like, miraculous ladybug, and she throws the thing up, and there's a bright glow and everything normal, including your health. You're all healed back to full.
Hooray!
Yay.
Are we back in the park spontaneously?
No,
That would be returned to normal.
here's the thing. Outside. So Decade. Chat
Mhm.
Noir. So we're gonna say this is like before the battle officially. So you're outside with Chat Noir and yourself. What are you gonna do? The battle's raging on inside.
I mean, Decade would probably move, try and directly move to like get back into the fight.
As you go to do that, suddenly there's a clank of and you see like a staff, like Shaq's metal staff has lengthened and like hit the ground in front of you to cut you off. I saw when you transformed. Your decade, right?
Yeah, he'll like put his hands up in a kind of what can you do motion, I suppose so.
I was warned about you. The destroyer of worlds.
Hmm. You believe everything you hear then?
A lot happens around here. I'm not gonna let you destroy my city. And he's gonna run in, pull back his staff and start actually fighting you.
Okay. So I had decided to for my level up, I'm taking drive form, so I can use both options when I choose to strike with intent or strike to subdue.
Yeah.
I think I might need to. I think I might switch over my move to that one too, just so I can get the defend from harm move.
It's a good move.
Yeah,
I think I'm switching over to that. Kind of have to do that just if you want to do it.
yeah. I mean, there are other things you can do. Like if you have high enough light, you can choose to strike with intent with light. But yeah. Yeah, the unified just pick any option from the attack moves is pretty powerful.
It's almost like this game isn't balanced or something.
Well,
Yeah.
I forgot that the strike to subdue does not have defend, so I kind of need to switch over to that one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, so what'd you roll, Leon?
Right. So I will. I am going to strike to subdue. And I rolled a 9, so I'm going to choose one. I'm choosing to, I guess, defend myself from harm. So I don't take damage, but I don't deal damage.
Yeah, so you just block all his attacks as he comes in with his staff.
Mhm.
And it gets pretty intense as the two of you continue to fight.
All right. I'm going to cast magic.
All right, roll them both.
I dropped one of my dice.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I got a 10. So the magic has no unintended consequences. That creates an illusion, and I will say bypasses defenses. And
Attack Lido. Invisible.
and it's just gonna peace out by turning invisible.
All right, so you
Leaving.
turn invisible and disappear off.
Hmm.
And that ends the conflict, and everybody kind of goes back to so the stuff inside the warehouse is done, chatting, and just like the mime's back to normal as well, and it's kind of like everything's okay. We should probably get going though, because Ladybug's earrings are bleeping. It's like, oh, I gotta go realize my secret identity, and she runs off, and Chat Noir does the same, though he's looking a little bit in a huff.
quick.
They
to
seemed
leave.
nice.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone who has met Adrian or Marinette, which you've all met Marinette, realize that Ladybug is Marinette. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Know how
Yeah.
people don't get it.
Mhm.
And same with Adrian. If you've met Adrian, then you know.
But I know what you're talking about.
I
A
mean, she's
domino
supposed to.
mask
She's
is
supposed
clearly enough to disguise anyone's identity.
to. She's supposed to go to like a party or something with him later. So Fu will not so subtly bring that up later.
Uh-huh. Yeah, while everyone else is standing around, Tsukasa just kind of appears, like, in the middle of everyone, then takes
But
his belt off.
Tsukasa, not.
Hmm. Yep.
There's Tsukasa with the group now.
New suit.
Old suit, actually.
She gives a nod of approval.
Hmm.
Unexpected healing. Weird
I
magic.
guess that's what they mean when talking about saying how the ladybug, whenever she afterwards she can fix all the problems that never happened. I guess it includes all injuries too.
Strange magic.
Hmm.
Worth learning.
I guess these apparently somebody's been telling tales to the local heroes. The cat guy seemed to have some sort of problem with me.
What
Problem?
with you specifically or with?
Me specifically.
To be fair, I will point out, Bob and Fu, you did hear that his belt did call him Decade when he transformed into that outfit. And you also remember, because you both listened in on Astrid back How to Train Your Dragon, that Burke was under threat by someone named Decade.
Mhm.
Yeah, it takes a moment for her to remember that,
Yeah,
And
it takes
then-
a while. Yeah, that's doesn't seem
and
to line
then
up.
and then like she sort of wrinkles her brow and is just like,
Decade?
Yeah. I guess that's technically what I'm called when I'm using that.
Are there more of those things to let you tune into that form?
I mean, so Bob would definitely know that the last time the kid transformed, he looked very different. That
Yeah, I seen you transform a few times now, so I'm saying other I'm trying to ask other devices that do that kind of thing too.
I mean, yeah, he'll open up his little like card booklet thing that is also his gun and his sword because that's how that works. And there are like a bunch of cards that have different like pictures of like armored heroes with their names underneath them.
Are there any?
Fu is curiously flipping through this.
Mhm.
Are there multiples of some of these heroes, like saying multiple people who can transform into these heroes, or is it?
I mean, just me, as far as I know.
And with that, we're going to cut to a different scene. Dread.
Yo.
So everyone disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
but everything seemed back to normal. The entire city of Paris was covered with a red glow, and you were back to your normal outfit, and any wounds you had were healed.
Okay, that's mildly concerning.
But all your friends went off and had their whatever happened. So you not quite sure where to go. You start heading to school, and I hope you don't mind me railroading here a little bit.
That's
but
right.
you start heading back. You start heading back towards the school, and you see this little cafe on the edge of the, on the corner of the street. But right behind it, you see a familiar building, Hikari Studio. It's the photo studio that all of Tsukasa's friends were at back on the SEA, the place that took you to Twilight.
Ah. Yeah, worth checking out. Go to places then to see if I can find Tsukasa.
All right, so you head over to the shop and you go and walk in. Nobody's at the front desk, of course, but you keep on heading back because you know this place a little bit now, and you head towards the little sitting room with the backdrop. And there are 3 people sitting there: Asia, young woman, and a third guy you don't know. And the 2 you do know look up at you and say, "Oh, Dread, welcome, welcome. Come on in, have some tea. What's going on?"
Evening. Looks at the third person. I'm sorry, I don't think we've been introduced.
It's no worries. I'm actually just leaving. He, finishes his tea and puts it down. You enjoy your. I'm just visiting, and walks past you to go exit.
Just thinking of moves potentially could do.
I mean, there's always deep dive.
Yeah, I think deep dive was what I was thinking of. My brain wasn't just processing what moves I had.
All right, roll plus heart.
So that is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, so you get to ask 3 questions, and we're not. So just go ahead and ask whatever you want.
We're not what?
We're not using the list on deep dive because I find it too restrictive for how broad this game is.
Okay. I suppose first and foremost, is there anything notable about this guy who's leaving?
I mean, I'm going to say, you think, you kind of look at him. You're trained to look for people having weapons. You think he's packing, but at a glance, it doesn't look like any normal weapon that anyone might have. You're not sure, but it's kind of tucked into his belt, but it's a little bulky and long.
Okay.
Something, yeah.
I suppose reading the room, what are I've forgotten their names already.
Eijiro and Natsumi.
Yeah, what are Adrian and Natsumi feeling at the moment? What's their emotional state?
They were just having someone over. Someone came into the studio.
So it was relaxed.
Tea? Yeah.
Okay. I can't think of a third question to ask.
Where is the rest of the party, maybe?
I mean, I guess, but that's not really something this area could contextually tell me.
Yeah. I'll let you bank it. It's okay if you really.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, I'm just running on fumes.
Let me get you a picture of what this guy. Need to find a good picture. Why are there no good pictures of this? Here, this one. Not what I was hoping to show, but he looks like this. You know what? I'll post it after I do it because I wanna do this dramatically for people. But yeah, so yeah, he just gets up and he walks past you. And he starts heading towards the exit, and he looks, and you start walking in or whatever. You look to him and says, "Hey, Dread, right?"
Yeah.
He looks at you and says, "Just watch yourself out there, all right?" And he makes a finger gun at you. Big cities like this can be a dangerous. And he kind of bangs the finger gun and turns and walks out.
Like, the problem is you can't see Dredd roll his eyes, but it took a good amount of willpower not to just walk over and punch that guy in the face.
That's where we're going to end. He looks like this.
Yeah, that's a punchable face.
If only you knew.
If only you knew.
Oh. Cool.
And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, as I was on various common riders, I just got to who this guy is. All right.
Yeah, he's spoiler alert for everyone else. He is Tsukasa's rival writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a thief that just walked past Dredd.
I mean, again, like, Dredd gave him the once-over. He didn't detect any immediate law-breaking. Nothing he can really do.
Yeah.
This is Common Rider Joker, it looks like, I
No,
think.
the end. Joker is the next guy. That's Shotaro Hidari.
Oh,
So I
okay.
went as for Halloween.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
Alright.
a good one.
It's also who I'm going to be playing as if I get to play season 2 of Inter.